up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. So I think on this channel I've only reviewed the Ahsoka novel as far as Star Wars books go, but I also did read some of Bloodline by Claudia Gray, and I read some of Aftermath, which both of those books I wasn't really feeling. I kind of dropped them. I was having a really hard time finding some Star Wars books, but then I read the Revenge of the Sith novelization, which I did review over on Network 1901's channel, and I really liked it, and I gave out a call to arms. I'm like, people, I want some good Star Wars books. Like, please recommend something to me. And this overwhelmingly was what every single person recommended to me. And after like reading it for like 2 seconds, I really saw why. So I listened to this book. And for those of you who don't know, listening to Star Wars books is very much a production. There are sound effects, there's music, all of that kinds of crazy fun stuff. So I did listen to it, and I really liked it. The narrator did a really good job, whereas with some of the other Star Wars books I've tried to listen to, they were way too cartoony, way too over the top. The girl voices were really lame because most of them are done by a male, whereas with this one, it was very much like I'm used to, and it reads a lot like a regular YA novel, which I think is another reason why I really liked it. So this book kind of runs parallel to the original trilogy. It starts 8 years after, you know, Empire Day, and we follow these two characters who grew up on this like backwater, you know, outer rim planet as they grow up. They want to become Imperial pilots. Like, they just want to fly the big ships. This is the only life they've ever grown up in. They've never grown up in a world without the Empire, and that's kind of just how it starts out. They, you know, are recommended by like General Tarkin himself to, you know, work hard, train, maybe you'll be in an academy, and they become best friends. They really bond over flying together, and even though they're kind of divided by their two cultures on this planet, they really learn to come together and, you know, not see those as disadvantages. And over time, they do get into one of the most prestigious academies that there is, and they work so hard. They graduate at the top of their class, and they are loving what they're doing. But then the Death Star blows up, and that's when one of the characters becomes very disillusioned with the Empire, and he starts to see the corruption, and he starts to see that maybe this glowing Empire isn't as good as they thought it was going to be. And out of our characters, Thane is definitely the realist. He's not really like gung-ho about, oh, the Empire's gonna solve all the problems, but he also knows that the rebels aren't gonna solve all of the problems either, and they are pretty much kind of like terrorists, or at least that's what the Empire would lead them to believe. But we have Sienna, who is very much an optimist, and she believes in the Empire, and she is fiercely loyal, and she has this honor within her, and she's not going to disobey, you know, she's not going to go against her oath. If the Empire is good and the Empire is what she is loyal to, she's going to stick with it. So when Thane starts to have these disillusionments, Sienna just doesn't understand, and they really start growing apart, and the Empire has been forcing them apart ever since they joined the Academy. And it's very bittersweet to watch this happen. And what I love about it is that they both have points, because Thane really starts to see the Empire for what it is, and that it's definitely a dictatorship, and they're like ruling through fear, and they're enslaving people. But at the same time, you see Sienna, and yes, she is kind of like foolishly believing in this Empire, but the rebels aren't that great either. They are terrorists. When they blew up the Death Star, they blew up thousands of innocent people who didn't do anything. They were just working there. They killed one of her best friends when that happened. So she doesn't really understand how Thane could start to see the rebels as anything other than bad. And as time goes on and the years go by, it just gets so tragic to see them, because they grew up together. They're best friends. They know everything about each other. But this Empire is tearing them apart, and it just rips your heart out. It is so good, and it goes, you know, from A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back through Return of the Jedi, and it even goes a little bit past that a couple of years to the Battle of Jakku, and it is just so amazing. It was so well done. There's a huge focus on the characters. Like, it's very, you know, like microspective instead of like macrospective. So yes, there are big battles and stuff happening, but what's important is Sienna and Thane and how they're going about things, you know, the way they feel about things, their interactions with their friends, how their families come and go, that kind of thing. that's what's important here. And that's what I like seeing. I want to see people live in this world. Like, we already know that like all of this other big stuff is happening. So really I want to see these people living in the world, going about their day. What's it like for somebody who wasn't, you know, Luke Skywalker or Leia Organa, like going through this rebellion? And that's what you get in this book. And I really, really loved seeing that. I really loved these characters. As much as the ending tears my heart out, I really love how it ended, and I really would not change a single thing about this book. I really highly recommend it. If you are into Star Wars, this is the book you need to read. Unfortunately, if you do read it, you know, I've heard that this is the best Star Wars book out there, which means that it's not gonna get any better than this. But it also helps because, you know, like me, I'm a newer fan. I came in with Force Awakens, so this is easier for me to follow because I've seen the original trilogy, so I know where they are. I know what they're doing. I know who these people are that they're talking about. They're not bringing in people that, oh, we mentioned this on like 1 second of this one frame, or oh, he was in the Clone Wars trilogy, you know, like stuff that we haven't seen yet that you have to be a diehard to know about. This book is very much like, you know, you've just gotten into Star Wars. If you want to know more, here you go. And that is what I love. This book was so great. I am really excited to read some more from Claudia Gray, and yeah, I cannot say enough good things about this book. Thank you so much to everybody who recommended this to me, and I am going to share the love right back at you and recommend this to anybody who hasn't read it yet, because it is absolutely amazing, and it's probably one of the best books I've read all year. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every Monday. That is everything got for today, guys. I will see you next time. Bye!